Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Brook Hill High School in Bullard, Texas. You're listening to Game 3 of the regional quarterfinals between the New Diana Eagles and the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets. Last night, New Diana evened the series up, one game apiece upon the back and shoulders of Elliott Foreman. Struck out 13, only walked 3 in a complete game shutout of the Yellow Jackets. Eagles will be the visitor tonight, as we just had the national anthem. Going to be led off by number 7, Darren Maines. Pitcher for the Yellow Jackets tonight on the hill is freshman number 3, Blake Merritt. Behind home plate, we've got the catcher, number 4, Noah Grubbs. At first base is number 7, Landon Swank. Second base is Logan Presley. Shortstop is Jackson Eilingworth. Third base is Jace Greenslate. Right field is Ryan Wilkerson. Out in center field is Kip Lewis. And in left field is Ryan Wilkerson. And right field is J.D. Ballard. Getting ready for the first pitch here in a rainy Bullard, Texas. Rain for the third consecutive day here. But just a little bit of a drizzle now, just enough to get everything wet, make sure everything stays wet. Be a little bit of a different broadcast. Not going to have my stat book with me, so due to the wet conditions. The winner of this ball game will move on to the regional semifinals and face Gunter in the Sweet 16 of the 3A Texas High School playoffs. As Maine strides into the box. Maine's got a couple of hits in the last 2 ball games. Merritt fires first pitch. It's going to be hit out to center field. Kip Lewis catches it over his left shoulder. 1 pitch, 1 out. Ball was hit very deep, but hit right at Merritt. It's going to bring up the center fielder, John Luttrell. Luttrell was 1 for 3 in last night's ball game. Responsible for the lone RBI in the ball game. First pitch from Merritt, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Merritt stands back on top of the rubber. Kicks and fires. Strike 2 low, taken. 0-2's your count, 1 out. Top of the first inning, just getting underway here. Maine's led us off with a fly ball to center field. Pitches in the dirt. Gets away from Grubbs temporarily and fires down to first to avoid the drop third strike. That's going to be the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up number 2, Elliott Foreman. As I mentioned before, Foreman had an outstanding night on the mound last night to shut the Yellow Jackets down. Faced 23 Yellow Jacket hitters and struck out 13. First pitch from Merritt's high, taken for ball 1, 1-0. Walked 3, but 2 of those walks were then gunned down at second base by catcher Ethan Atkinson. Outside, 2-0. 2-0, 2 out, top of the first inning. Merritt has the sign from Grubbs. Fires. Fouled off of Grubbs' mask, back to the backstop. Take the count to 2-1. As Zach Malone's the on-deck hitter. Recovers the ball. Merritt steps back on the rubber. The 2-1. High and outside, ball 3. Take the count to 3-1. Merritt hasn't pitched a lot this year for the Yellow Jackets. Time was called in the middle of Looks like called a balk on Merritt. As Grubb steps out from home plate, asking for an explanation. First baseman Swank's going to come over. We're going to have a visit from the Elysian Fields dugout here. First base umpire just called time. Didn't hear him yell the traditional balk. As the first base umpire is going to walk over now and have a word with the Elysian Fields head coach. Well, probably left it on, I guess.
You were just listening.
No, I don't have a commercial. There's no commercial on. Did it start over? Sorry, folks. Again, with the weather, we're not operating with our typical setup, so we hope that everybody can hear us. So it was a called ball 4 on Elliott Foreman without a pitch, so we're presuming it was some type of balk on Merritt there that awarded Foreman first base. So that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Zach Malone. Malone was 2 for 3 in last night's ball game. Steps in here with Foreman on first base, 2 outs, top of the first inning. It's going to be hit out to right field. J.D. Ballard gets underneath it. Hauls it in. It's going to retire the Eagles here in the top of the first. Going to the bottom, 1. Your score, New Diana 0. Elysian Fields coming up.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets. Millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We're in the bottom of the first here at Brook Hill High School, Bullard, Texas, deciding Game 3 between the New Diana Eagles and the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets. On the hill tonight for New Diana is number 3, Peyton Brewer. Brewer's a tall right-hander, stands about 6'3", 185 pounds. Generally sets mid-80s, 84 to 86. Behind the plate, we've got number 6, Ethan Atkinson, over at first base. Number 5, Jacob Newland. Number 4, Logan Simmons is on the bag at second. Shortstop's number 7, Darren Maines. Over at third is the senior, number 18, Zach Malone. Out in left field, we've got number 9, Hayden Thomas. Center field is patrolled by number 19, John Luttrell. And in right field, we've got the freshman, number 10, Cole Sherman. First up for the Yellow Jackets is going to be number 6, Logan Presley. First pitch from Brewers, just a bit high. Be ball 1-0. Presley was responsible for the lone Yellow Jacket hit last night against Foreman.
Get him right here, buddy.
As Brewers issued a new ball. Massages the ball on top of the rubber. Puts his glove on, has the sign, kicks, and fires. Going to be a ground ball hit down the third baseline. Fair. It's going to go all the way down into the corner. Hayden Thomas going to come up firing as Presley cruises into second base with a leadoff double. The Yellow Jackets have a man in scoring position here in the bottom of the first inning. It's going to bring up number 4, Noah Grubbs. As Grubbs steps in, Newland plays well in on the grass at first base, expecting the bunt. Malone's even with the bag at third. First pitch, cut on, fouled back, 0-1. As Grubbs digs back in. Brewer now pitching from the stretch. Checks Presley at second. High leg kick. Ball's going to be hit out to right field. It's going to be hit over Cole Sherman's head and go all the way to the wall. Presley's going to score easily. Grubbs round second, headed to third. Throw coming in. It's cut off. Noah Grubbs with a RBI triple as Elysian Fields takes the lead 1-0. Grubbs hammered that Brewer fastball down the right field line. Went all the way into the corner. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 1, Ryan Wilkerson. Wilkerson was 0-for-3 in last night's ball game. Went 2-for-3 in the first ball game with a home run and 3 RBIs. Big leg kick from Brewer. It's going to be a wild pitch. Grubbs is going to be coming down the line. Fired back to Malone. It's going to get Grubbs at third base. Picks him off. As the ball bounced about 2 feet in front of home plate, it went all the way to the backstop, but fortunately bounced about halfway back to Atkinson. Grubbs realized it, but not in time as he was already halfway down the line. Atkinson come up, fired to Malone at third for the first out of the inning. So Wilkerson bats here with nobody on. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 1-0. As that ball is going to be hit between third and short. Be the third consecutive hit for the Yellow Jackets as Wilkerson has a 1-out single. It's going to bring to the plate senior number 2, Jackson Eilingworth. Eilingworth took the loss for the Yellow Jackets last night, but only allowed 1 run, 4 hits, a couple of walks, 6 strikeouts. Eilingworth is the lone left-handed hitter for the Yellow Jackets as he steps in. Wilkerson takes his lead away from first. Brewer checks him over his right shoulder once and twice. Fires high. It's going to go all the way to the backstop. It's going to allow Wilkerson to cruise down to second base with a wild pitch. Rain is just about stopped here in Brook Hill, but the ball is still very, very wet, as it has been for the previous 2 games. 1-0's your count, 1 out, bottom of the first inning. As that offering to Eilingworth is high. Ball 2.
Come on, get him, Peyton.
Brewer adjusts his hat. Steps back onto the rubber as Eilingworth digs in. Wilkerson takes his lead away from second. The 2-0 misses, 3-0. Logan Presley led the inning off with a double down the third base line, and Noah Grubbs followed that up with a stand-up triple. Grubbs was then picked off at third base. As Eilingworth's going to look at ball 4 there from Brewer. So the first 4 batters here for the Yellow Jackets reach base, and it's going to bring up the freshman, third baseman, Jace Greenslate. Greenslate was 0-for-3 last night. Steps in here with Wilkerson at second base. Eilingworth at first. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 1-0, bottom 1. Brewer again comes in high, 1-0. The 1-0. Just misses off the outside corner. He's going to make it 2-0. Greenslate steps back in. Wilkerson and Eilingworth take their leads away from second and first, respectively. Big leg kick from Brewer. That one's in there for strike 1. 2-1, 1 out. Yellow Jackets already on the board here, 1-0. Brewer fires high, 3-1.
Go, Peyton. Come show what you can do, buddy. Shut him up.
Brewer facing a little bit of chatter from the Elysian Field side there. Chirping him quite a bit, but that's to be expected in the third round of the playoffs. As he fires fastball right down the middle to Green Slate, looked at for strike two. He's going to fill the count up here, 3-2. One out. Bottom of the first inning, Elysian Fields leads New Diana 1-0. Threatening here. As that fastball is going to miss high. Ball four. It's going to load them up here for the Yellow Jackets. As Atkinson calls time, he's going to take a slow walk out to the mound.
First baseman, number 7, Landon Swank.
So first base umpires walked across the diamond. He's going to have a word with the Hugh Springs coach there in the third base dugout. And now we're going to have a visit from pitching coach Sean Stacy. Temporary little break in the action here. We'll hear a word from our sponsors. Elite Refrigeration and Air has over 25 years experience and is located right here in Diana, Texas. We're here to help you with all your refrigeration and air conditioning needs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether you need a small repair or a brand new installation of your AC unit, ice machine, heat pump, or cooler freezer, Elite Refrigeration has you covered. Call 903-387-8247 day or night to have one of our highly qualified technicians dispatched out to your location because the best never rest. Elite Refrigeration is a proud sponsor of New Diana Eagle Baseball. We're ready to resume play here in the bottom of the first inning as Coach Stacy has returned to the dugout. Atkinson has resumed his place behind the dish. Bases are loaded. Full of Yellow Jackets with first baseman Swank at the plate as Brewer fires high for ball one.
You got it right here, Peyton. Shut him up.
Counts 1-0, one out. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 1-0. As Brewer stares in. High leg kick. Spikes a fastball. Be 2-0.
Deep breath, Peyton. You got it.
Brewer now going to be from the wind with the bases loaded. The 2-0 catches the outside corner, 2-1. Brewer working quickly now. Fires high just below the letters. It's going to take it to 3-1.
You got it, Peyton.
3-1, one out.
One pitch at a time, buddy. That's it.
Bases loaded, nowhere to put him. The 3-1 swung on and missed. Strike two. Second consecutive hitter will have a full count here.
Shut him up.
That one's going to be low for ball four. Elysian Fields is going to take a 2-0 lead here with one out. The bottom of the first inning. Going to have a mound visit here from Coach Martinez. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you. We're in the bottom of the first inning here at Brook Hill High School in Bullard, Texas. Game 3 of the regional quarterfinal series. Elysian Fields currently has the bases loaded and a 2-out lead. We have a pitching change for the Eagles. It's going to be number 8, freshman Austin Kearns. Kearns' last outing was against Mineola in Game 3 of that series. Right fielder J.D. Ballard's about to step in for the Yellow Jackets. Kearns is going to inherit Islingsworth at third base, Greenslade at second, and Swank at first. 1 out, bottom 1. Ballard holds off, is able to check his swing on the first pitch. Make the count 1-0.
At the plate, the right fielder, number 14, J.D. Ballard.
Kearns looks in at Atkinson for the sign. Comes set. Fires low. It's going to go through Atkinson's 5-hole all the way to the backstop. Islingsworth is going to score for the third run of the inning. Elysian Fields will take a 3-0 lead. Greenslade moves down to third. Swank to second. Count's going to be 2-0 on Ballard. As Kearns comes set. Fastball in the dirt again. Greenslade with a big secondary. Able to get back to third in time. Good stop by there by Atkinson, able to keep the ball in front of him. Just bounced it down the first baseline by about 15 feet or so. As Kearns steps to the back of the mound, takes a deep breath. Looks in for the sign. The 3-0. In the dirt, ball 4. Ballard's going to make his way down to first base. That's going to bring up the freshman, number 3, Blake Merritt. It's going to be the 4th walk issued by the Eagles this inning. Kearns' first pitch is low, blocked by Atkinson. 1-0. One out. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 3-0. Bases are loaded. Bottom 1. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Logan Presley led off the bottom half of this inning with a double, followed by Noah Grubbs' stand-up triple. Noah Grubbs was then picked off at third base. As that Kearns offering is going to be in the dirt, 2-1.
Don't let them get to you guys.
One out. Merritt at the plate. Kearns kicks, fires high, 3-1.
Okay, Johnson, right here.
The 3-1. It's going to be low, ball 4. It's going to plate the 4th run of the inning for the Yellow Jackets. Here in the bottom of the 1st, have 1 out. Going to have another visit from Coach Martinez. We'll take a short break. We're still in the 1st inning here at Brook Hill High School in Bullard, Texas. Elysian Fields has taken a 4-0 lead. Here, still only 1 out. Logan Presley led off the inning with a double down the 3rd base line. Noah Grubbs came up, hit a triple that knocked him in. Grubbs was then picked off of at 3rd base. Maines is going to come in here and be the 3rd pitcher for the Eagles this inning. The Eagles have issued 5 free passes. And I believe Wilkerson also has a hit. Other defensive changes is Ethan Atkinson moves out to shortstop where Maines was playing. Jacob Newland takes over behind the plate. Kearns is going to move to first base. Maines' first offering is going to be low, ball 1. And Peyton Brewer stayed in the game and took over for Cole Sherman in right field. The 1-0's in there, even the count at 1-1. 1-1, 1 out, bottom 1. Kip Lewis bats. It's the 9th Yellow Jacket to come to the plate this inning. That Maines fastball is in the dirt. Be 2-1. This isn't the first time the Eagles have faced adversity, and despite them digging themselves a pretty big hole here, there's a lot of baseball left. Maines kicks and fires the 2-1s high, 3-1. 3-1, 1 out, bases loaded. Elysian Fields leads New Diana at 4-0. That fastball catches the inside corner. Strike 2. 3-2. The payoff pitch. In there for strike 3. Sits Lewis down looking. It's going to be the second out of the inning. Moving back to the top of the lineup, got number 6, the second baseman, Logan Presley. Presley led off this inning with a double. Bats here with the bases loaded. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 4-0. Curveball from Maines just drops in there a little bit high. 1-0. Did cross the plate just about the letters. Snewland relays the signs. Another curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. The 1-1. Fastball is going to be high and in. 2-1. Long look in here for Maines. From the wind. Fastball down the middle. It's going to even it up. 2-2. Presley always has a pained look on his face when he takes a called strike. 2-2, 2 outs. Bottom 1. The pitch. Curveball. Presley does a good job just to get a piece of it. Fouls it back to the screen. Umpire says play ball. We'll do it again. 2-2, 2 outs. Fastball's going to be popped up, out of play.
Finish it up right here. Let's go.
Got it, 7. Come on, Darren.
Maines ready to deliver the 2-2. Curveball's going to be flared down the third baseline, out of play. Maines walks around the mound. Settles in the back, takes a deep breath, strides up on top. The 2-2. Going to be high. Ball 3. That'll fill it up. 3-2. Runners will be on the move here with 2 outs. Deep breath from Maines. Steps, kicks, fires. Fastball, ground ball over to third baseman. Zach Malone fires over to first. Picked by Austin Kearns. Maines comes in and stops the bleeding. Going to the top of the second. Your score, Elysian Fields 4, New Diana 0. We're in the top of the second inning here at Brook Hill High School. Pivotal game 3 of the regional quarterfinal series between the New Diana Eagles and the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets. Bottom half of the first inning, Yellow Jackets pushed across 4 runs on 3 hits and 5 free passes from the Eagles. Lead the Eagles 4-0. Due up for the Eagles this inning, it's going to be the shortstop, number 6, Ethan Atkinson, followed by the catcher, number 5, Jacob Newland, and the left fielder, number 9, Hayden Thomas. Whole lot of baseball left here for the Eagles.
Leading off the shortstop, number 6,
got a lot of outs left.
Atkinson.
Very capable of putting up a crooked number ourselves. As Atkinson steps into the box, double taps the plate. Merritt comes set, fires low, ball 1. The 1-0. Atkinson's going to hit a ground ball over to first base. Swank's going to field it himself and touch the bag. That'll be the first out of the inning. Catcher Jacob Newland makes his way to the plate.
Let's go, Jacob! Go, Jacob! Let's do it.
The catcher, number 5, Jacob Newland.
Newland's going to bat here in the top of the second inning. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 4-0. Merritt. First pitch, low and away, 1-0. The 1-0. Newland's going to sky it out to left field. Left fielder Ryan Wilkerson hauls it in. Second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 9, Hayden Thomas. Thomas is going to bat here in the top of the second inning. Atkinson led us off. Had a ground out to the first baseman. Newland just popped out to left field. First pitch is going to be hit right back up the middle past the diving Islandworth. Out into center field for a 2-out single by Hayden Thomas. It's going to bring to the plate second baseman, number 4, Logan Simmons.
The second baseman, number 4, Logan Simmons.
Simmons steps in, rolls his front left shoulder, is ready for the pitch. Merritt looks over at Thomas at first. Comes set. First pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1. The 0-1. Taken high for ball 1. It's going to even it up. 1-1. 2 outs. Top of the second inning. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 4-0. Hayden Thomas on first base after a 2-out single. The 1-1s misses out. Be 2-1. Merritt toes the rubber, checks Thomas over at first. Foul straight back. It's going to even the count, 2-2. Here. Two outs. Pitch for Merritt's going to be dribbled right out in front of the plate. Umpire says it's a fair ball. Grubbs is able to fire down to first base. That's going to retire the Eagles. Here in the top of the second inning. Moving to the bottom of the second, your score, Elysian Fields 4, New Diana 0. Leading off the bottom of the second inning is going to be the catcher, Noah Grubbs for Elysian Fields. Mains' first pitch misses off the inside corner, 1-0. The 1-0. At the knees for a strike, 1-1. Grubbs had a RBI triple his last at bat. So 1-1's going to be grounded back to the third base dugout. 1-2. The 1-2. Grubbs not able to check his swing. He's going to go down on strikes. Be the first out of the inning here for the Eagles.
Number 1, Ryan Wilkerson.
As Grubbs makes a slow walk back to the dugout. He's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryan Wilkerson. Wilkerson singled and scored a run his last at bat. That Maine's curveball is going to miss high. Ball 1. The 1-0. Another curveball misses. 2-0. The 2-0. Fastball in the dirt. It's going to be 3-0. The 3-0. Taken at the knees for strike 1. As Wilkerson steps back in. Maine set to deliver the 3-1. 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Kicks and fires. Curveball misses. Ball 4. So first free pass issued by Maines. So with 1 out, Yellow Jackets are going to have their cleanup hitter come to the plate. Number 2, Jackson Eilingworth. Eilingworth walked and scored a run his last at bat. Going to bat here with 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 4-0. As Wilkerson takes his lead away from first. Slide step. Maines misses with a fastball outside, ball 1. Maines comes set. The 1-0. Fastball misses. Outside again. 2-0. Maines isn't missing by much here. Quick throw over to first. Wilkerson's back safe. After the ball game, we'll be able to tell how much those pitches are actually missing when we review the video, but Maine set to deliver the 2-0 to Eilingworth. Swung on and missed, 2-1. The 2-1. Misses low, ball 3. 3-1's your count. As the beating you hear is the Elysian Fields dugout over there. They'd formed a little band with the reserves over there in the dugout. The 3-1's fouled back. It's going to fill it up, 3-2.
Come on, 7.
3-2, 1 out, bottom of the second inning. Yellow Jackets lead the Eagles 4-0. Pickoff attempt. Wilkerson's back safe.
Got it, Maine.
Maine set to deliver the payoff pitch. Ball's in the dirt. It's going to send Illingworth down to first base.
Go, Darren.
Second walk in a row. So with one out, Yellow Jackets are going to have runners on first and second. And the third baseman, Jace Greenslade, step into the plate.
Number 19, Jace Greenslade.
Go, Maine. Got it, Darren.
Greenslade walked and scored a run his last at bat. Wilkerson shadows, as that ball's going to miss. Atkinson shadows Wilkerson out there at second base to hold him close.
Pitch, Darren.
1-0.
Got it, Maine. Let's do it, babe.
Eagles are a ground ball away here. Getting out of this inning. Baines kicks, fires high, 2-0. The 2-0 at the knees for strike one. Take the count to 2-1. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two. That'll even the count at 2-2.
One more.
2-2, one out. Bottom of the second inning. Yellow Jackets lead New Diana 4-0. Elysian Fields has runners on first and second. Spain's come set. High leg kick. Big curveball's going to miss. Across the plate just above the letters there.
Come on, Darren. Just keep going, buddy. Go, babe.
Maine's curveball breaks sharply, but was a little bit high. The payoff pitch is in the dirt. It's going to load the bases here for Elysian Fields.
Come on, Darren. You got it, Darren. Go.
The Eagles are in a bit of a jam here.
Landon Swank.
Going to have a mound visit from Coach Sean Stacy. We're going to stay right here with you. For those of you that have just tuned in, we're here in the bottom of the second inning. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 4-0. Peyton Brewer started the game for the Eagles. Went just 1/3 of an inning. He had 3 hits, 4 runs, all of which were earned. Had 5 walks. Austin Kearns came in. Had 2 walks. Wasn't able to retire anybody. And then Darren Maines took over in the bottom half of the first. Finished out the last 2/3 of that inning. No hits, no walks, no runs. Here in the bottom of the second, Maines has walked him loaded. And your hitter is going to be first baseman Landon Swank. Maines now from the wind. First pitch is going to be lined out into left field. It's going to be a single. It's going to plate 2 runs as Wilkerson and Illingworth both come home. Elysian Fields now leads New Diana 6-0.
Number 14, J.D. Ballard.
As that one out single is also going to advance Jace Greenslade down to second base. J.D. Ballard's going to bat here. Walked his first time at bat. as Maine's first pitch misses low and away. Ball 1. Maine's ready to deliver the 1-0. Kicks and fires, misses low. Ball 2. A lot of tension here with the New Diana crowd. 2-0 is going to be flied out. Center fielder John Luttrell comes in, pats his glove twice, sits up underneath it. Greenslate's going to tag at third. Not able to advance as Luttrell fires a rocket to third base. So Ballard's going to be the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the pitcher, number 3, Blake Merritt. Merritt walked and was stranded at first base his last at bat. We've had a couple of close calls, but for the most part, the 8 walks that the Diana's issued pitches have not been close. Maine's kicks and fires. First pitch called strike. Right down the middle, 0-1. 0-1, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, Elysian Fields leads New Diana 6-0. As Greenslate takes his lead away from first. Swank with his lead away from, Greenslate's on second. As that Maine's fastball is at the knees for strike 2. 0-2. Swank's on first after a 1 out, 2 RBI single. Newland relays the signs. Maine's takes a deep breath, comes set. Kicks and fires. Curveball's going to be in there. That's going to set Merritt down looking for the third out of the inning. Yellow Jackets score 2 runs on 1 hit, 3 walks. Going to the top of the third inning, your score. Elysian Fields 6, New Diana 0. Top of the third inning is going to be led off by number 8, Austin Kearns. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 6-0. First pitch from Merritt's going to miss low, ball 1.
At the plate, number 8, Austin Kearns.
Kearns takes a strike at the knees. Even the count at 1-1. 1-1 from Merritt. Going to be a ground ball out to Eilingworth at shortstop. Comes up, fires over to Swank at first. Going to retire Kearns for the first out of the inning. Merritt's not overpowering. Haven't really seen a whole lot of off-speed stuff. Definitely has pitched to contact here, and Eagles haven't been able to do a whole lot with it. It's going to take us back to the top of the lineup. Number 7, Darren Maines. Merritt misses 1-0. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Strike 2. Excuse me, strike 1. Even the count at 1-1. Sorry, folks, going back and filling out my book here to catch up from the rain. The 1-1. Here he hit out into right field. It's going to fall for a base hit. Maines on base with a 1-out hit. Maybe that'll be enough to get the Eagles started here. So that brings center fielder John Luttrell to the plate. Luttrell was a Merritt strikeout victim his first time.
Here we go, 1-9.
That ball's going to be hit on the third baseline. It's going to be cut off by the left fielder Wilkerson. Maines is going to get all the way to third base, though, sliding in safely. As Luttrell is going to have a 1-out double. Excellent piece of hitting there from Luttrell. Line drive right down the third baseline, tailed away from Wilkerson. Almost made it all the way to the corner, and that allowed Maines to slide into third base safely. That's going to bring up the DH tonight, Elliott Foreman. Foreman walked his first at bat. As that Merritt pitch is going to be high. One and 0. One out. Top 3, Eagles threatening. Pitch is going to be in the dirt there from Merritt. Good block by Grubbs. Be 2-0. Big cut there by Foreman. Going to take the count to 2-1. From the top of the third inning, 1 out. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 6-0. Eagles threatening here. That ball's going to miss outside, 3-1. Maines had a 1-out single followed by a 1-out double by Luttrell. That ball misses low. That'll be Foreman's second walk of the ball game. It's going to load him up here for number 18, senior Zach Malone. Eagles looking to get some of the runs back as Malone steps in, swipes the batter's box with his right foot. Lifts his bat to the heavens, looks up, takes a deep breath, steps in. First pitch for Merritt's going to be high, ball 1. Another big deep breath from Malone. 1-0 is going to be popped back, 1-1. The 1-1. Foul tip. Back to the screen. 1-2. 1-2, 1 out. Top of the third inning. Bases are full of Eagles here. Darren Maines had a 1-out single. John Luttrell followed with a double, and Elliott Foreman walked. Malone bats here with a 1-2 count. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 6-0. Merritt from the wind.
Yes, sir.
Line drive, right back up the middle. That's going to score Maines. Martinez is going to hold Luttrell at third as the throw comes all the way home from Kip Lewis. It's going to be a one-out. It's going to be a one-out RBI single for Zach Malone.
Let's go. Keep jumping out. Let's go.
It's going to bring up the shortstop, Ethan Atkinson. Bases still floated. Top 3. First pitch way high from Merritt. Take the count to 1-0. As Grubbs is going to take a slow walk out to the mound. Austin Kearns led off the inning with a ground out to the shortstop. Maines came up, had a single, followed by a Luttrell double. Foreman walked to load the bases. And then Malone came up on a 1-2 count, had an RBI single right back up the middle. Count on Atkinson's 1-0. One out, top 3. New Diana has plated 1 run so far. Trailed the Yellow Jackets 6-1. That ball's going to be hit out to right field. Right fielder Ballard gets up underneath it. And it's going to allow Luttrell and Foreman to tag. Luttrell's going to score the second run for the Eagles this inning. As Foreman advances to third, Eagles now have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Let's go. Keep it hot right here.
And that's going to bring to the plate first baseman Jacob Newland. Newland flied out to center field his first time. Bats here in the top of the 3rd inning. New Diana trails Elysian Field 6-2. New Diana's already plated 2 runs this inning. As Malone takes off, Merritt spikes a fastball into the dirt. Malone's going to be down to second base easily with the stolen base. One-0 count on Newland. Eagles can claw themselves back into this inning right here and into the ball game. Counts 1-0, 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. New Diana has plated 2 runs so far, have runners on second and third. Newland at bat. Merritt pitching quickly now. Misses low, ball 2. 2-0 is your count. Newland takes a deep breath, shrugs his shoulders, holds his hand up for time. Steps in as Merritt steps off the back of the rubber in disgust. Apparently he's never seen the batter call for time before. Comes set. The 2-0. It's going to be flared out to right field. That's going to be down. That's going to score Elliott Foreman from third base as the throw's going to come all the way home. Malone advances to third base as Jacob Newland has a 2-out RBI single. New Diana Eagles have cut the deficit in half here now, trail 6-3.
Number 9, Hayden Thomas.
We're cutting in half. Let's go.
It's going to bring up the left fielder, Hayden Thomas. Thomas is 1 for 1 on the day. Singled his last at bat. Looks at a fastball there. Strike 1. Newland takes his lead away from first here. Newland's going to take off. It's going to be a line drive right back up the middle. That's going to allow plate Malone for the 4th run of the inning. Newland makes it all the way to third base and is safe as Thomas cruises into second base. That's the 4th run of the inning for the New Diana Eagles. They've closed the gap 6-4, and we'll have a visit from the Elysian Fields dugout. We're going to stay right here with you as the coach for Elysian Fields comes out to talk to the freshman Merritt. Eagles have strung together several hits here. 4 hits in the inning, 4 runs. Currently trail the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets 6-4. Unsure if we're going to have a pitching change here yet, as the coach is still standing there talking to Grubbs and Merritt off to the left side of the mound. Home plate umpire is going to make a slow walk out there. Maine started the rally with a one out single, followed by Luttrell. Followed him with a double. Foreman walked to load the bases. Malone came up, had an RBI single. Ethan Atkinson had a sacrifice fly that scored Luttrell. That was followed by an RBI single by Newland and an RBI single by Thomas. Eagles have runners at the corners. Logan Simmons at the plate. First pitch swinging is going to be hit on the ground to shortstop. That's going to plate Jacob Newland as Simmons slides into first base, safe on the infield single. Eagles have pulled within 1. 6-5 here in the top of the 3rd inning as they put up a huge crooked number. We're going to have yet another mound visit here from the Elysian Fields coach. That's going to be it for Merritt, as the Eagles are going to bounce him with the 5th hit and 5th run of the inning. We're going to take a short break and be right back with you. You're listening to Game 3 of the regional quarterfinal series between the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets and the New Diana Eagles. Eagles dug themselves a bit of a hole in the first 2 innings. It was 6-0 coming to the top of the 3rd. Since then, the Eagles have had 5 hits and scored 5 runs to get back within 1 here in the top of the 3rd. 2 outs. Austin Kearns comes to the plate. Logan Simmons is on first base after an RBI infield single. Third base is occupied by Hayden Thomas, who also had an RBI single. 2-out RBI single. New pitcher for Elysian Fields is first baseman number 7, Landon Swank. He's going to swap places with Merritt as he inherits 2 runners here. Kearns takes first pitch from Swank, 0-1. Fouls the second pitch back, be 0-2. Kearns is the 10th man to come to the plate for the Eagles, as it's a brand new ball game here at Brook Hill High School in Bullard, Texas. Kearns takes a deep breath. Right foot, left foot, taps the plate. Swank comes set. From the side, it's going to miss high, ball 1. Swank stands about 6'4", does drop down, come completely from the side. The 1-2. Misses. 2-2. It's going to be very similar to the same release point that the Eagles saw in Game 3 of the Mineola series with Jack Hurd, also coming from the side. That ball's going to be popped out of play back behind the first base dugout. We'll do it again. 2-2, 2 outs. Top of the third inning, Kearns bats with runners on the corners. New Diana trails the Yellow Jackets by just 1, 6-5. Swank fires, fouled back again. Count will remain 2-2. Swank stares into the sign from Grubbs. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch is going to miss as Grubbs attempts to frame the pitch, but umpire has been consistent. He's not been giving that call across the letters on the off-speed pitches when they come in and drop. So that's going to be 3-2. 2 outs. Simmons is going to be away from first. That ball's going to miss outside. That's going to load him up as Swank walks Kearns. And that's going to bring up number 7, Darren Maines, as he strides to the plate. Maines plated the first run of the inning for the Eagles. As he scored that run, catcher Noah Grubbs had a little bit of things to say to him, apparently. And since that time, the Eagles have plated 4 more runs. Let's see if Maines can make him eat his words. First pitch from Swanks can be flared out at the center field. Kip Lewis is going to set up underneath it and make the catch. That's going to retire the Eagles in the top of the third, but not before they score 5 runs on 5 hits. Going to the bottom of the third, your score. Elysian Field 6, New Diana 5. Bottom of the third inning is going to be led off by the number 9 hitter for Elysian Fields here, Kip Lewis. Lewis squares but pulls back, takes low for ball 1. Lewis struck out looking his first at bat. The 1-0. Maines misses off the inside corner. 2-0.
Get him, Darren.
As Malone plays in on the grass at third. The 2-0 is going to be right down the middle. Strike 1. 2-1. Closing the book on Blake Merritt through 44 pitches, 2 2/3 innings. Faced 17 Eagle hitters. 1 K, 2 walks, 7 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned. As Maines is going to miss on the outside corner, 3-1. Maines' pitches have been very, very close here. The 3-1. Strike at the knees. 3-2. 3-2 as Lewis leads off the bottom of the third here for the Yellow Jackets. The 3-2's in the dirt. That's going to send Lewis down to first base. Yellow Jackets are going to have the leadoff man on here. It's going to take us back to the top of the order with second baseman Logan Presley.
Number 6, Logan Presley.
Presley's 1 for 2, led the ball game off. Led the Yellow Jackets half of the first inning off with a double. Squares here. Actually fouled it off his foot, but the umpire didn't see it. Maines covers and fires to first base. It was pretty obvious that it hit his foot, but the umpire's going to call time, and he's going to ask for the first and second base umpires to come in. From my vantage point, I'm here on the first base side of home plate. It was very obvious that it fouled off his foot, and rolled out into fair territory. The umpire doesn't see it that way, so it's going to go down as a sacrifice bunt for Presley. That's going to be the first out of the inning. It'll advance Lewis down to second base.
Number 4, Noah Grubbs.
And that's going to bring up the catcher, Noah Grubbs. Grubbs had an RBI triple in the first inning. As that Maines breaking balls outside, good block by Newland there to keep Lewis at second base. Grubbs was then promptly picked off at third base when he got too big of a secondary and was a strikeout victim to lead off the second inning. That pitch from Maines is at the knees. Strike one. That'll even the count at 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 6-5 as the Eagles scored 5 runs in the top half of this frame. Good breaking ball there from Maines, just fouled back by Grubbs. 1-2. Yellow Jackets are a very vocal team, not only with the instruments they play, but also with the things that they shout from their side. But long look in here from Maines, the 1-2. Grubbs just gets a piece of it, fouls it back. That'll keep the count at 1-2. Kip Lewis is on second base after a walk and then a sacrifice bunt from Presley. Newland relays the signs. Maines comes set. Checks Lewis at second. Curveball. First base umpire says he did not go around despite Grubbs heading back to the dugout. Grubbs struck out on a very similar pitch his first at bat or second at bat. He went so far around that even Grubbs thought he went around. But the first base umpire didn't think so. So we'll reset. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch from Maines. Grubbs doesn't offer it that Maines curveball. 3-2. As Maines refocuses, toes the rubber, comes set. Fastball is going to be grounded. Third baseman Zach Malone fires over to first. Kearns fires back to third base. Throw's going to go wild. It's going to go all the way to the stop there. Hayden Thomas tries to fire the ball in. That's going to plate run here for Elysian Fields on the error by the first baseman. Not really a shot to get Lewis there as he advanced from second base. Coach, we're going to have a visit here from Coach Martinez. Not exactly sure what Coach is asking here. I believe that Martinez was you're only allowed so many mound visits here, so just wanted, before he crossed the chalk, he just wanted to make sure that this wasn't going to be charged as a visit, or it was going to be charged as a visit, and which visit it was. So, here in the bottom of the third inning, Elysian Fields has scratched one across. Had a leadoff walk from Kip Lewis. Presley moved him over to second with a sacrifice bunt. Noah Grubbs grounded out to third baseman Malone, and as Malone fired the ball over to first, Lewis took off for third base. Kearns threw errantly over to third. Ball went all the way to the backstop over there by the third base bag. Thomas came up, tried to make a throw from left field, but was not in time as Lewis scored the first run of the inning for the Yellow Jackets. It's going to make your score 7-5 here, bottom three. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryan Wilkerson. Wilkerson's singled and walked and scored 2 runs. First pitch from Maines is going to miss low, ball 1. Wilkerson bats here with nobody on. 2 out. The 1-0. Maines misses low again. Ball 2. Definitely want to keep the ball low. You would rather miss low than miss high to Wilkerson. The 2-0. It's going to be another ground ball. It's going to be hit to Maines. Maines recovers, fires wildly over the head of Kearns at first base. Probably go down as an infield single as the ball. Malone did a good job at third just to get a glove on it, but spun and tried to make a circus throw, but flew the ball about 10 feet over the first baseman's head there, Austin Kearns. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Eilingworth. Eilingworth has walked both times and scored 2 runs. 2 outs, bottom 3. Elysian Fields, Elysian, Indiana, 7-5. Maine starts Eilingworth with a ball at the knee, strike 1. Eilingworth bats from the left side. Lone left-handed hitter that we've seen in any of the 3 ball games. As Wilkerson takes off, ball's going to be fouled down the third baseline. Out of play, 0-2. Oh and 2, 2 outs. Eilingworth steps in. Maines toes the rubber. Wilkerson takes his lead away from first. The 0-2. Curveball misses. Absolutely not sure where that pitch was. It crossed at the belt and was over the center of the plate. Newland asked the umpire. Umpire says that the ball was outside. Did not look like it from here, but that's the way it goes. Counts 1-2, 2 outs. Quick throw over to first base. Wilkerson's back in time. 1-2, 2 outs. Bottom 3. Another quick throw over from Maines. Wilkerson back in plenty of time.
Finish it up. Let's go.
Maines comes set. Kicks, fires as Wilkerson takes off. That's going to be in there. Curveball. Strike 3. Eilingworth's going to go down on strikes. Going to the top of the 4th inning, your score, New Diana 7. Elysian Fields. Excuse me, New Diana. Elysian Fields 7, New Diana 5. Top of the fourth inning is going to be led off by center fielder John Luttrell.
Leading off, number 19, John Luttrell.
Luttrell doubled and scored a run in the top half of the last inning in the Eagles' big 5-run inning. Went down on strikes his first at bat. First pitch from Swank. It's going to be in the dirt all the way to the backstop. 1-0. As Big John steps back into the box with the 1-0 count. Swank delivers. It's going to be fouled back over the first base dugout. 1-1. That pitch is going to be flared back just into the crowd behind the first base dugout. 1-2. The 1-2s in the dirt. Even the count up at 2-2. The 2-2. Misses. Low and away. Ball 3. Luttrell's worked the count full here. Leading off the inning for the Eagles. Swank toes the rubber. Comes set. Kicks. Fires low. Eagles are going to have the leadoff man on here as Luttrell jogs down to first base. He's going to bring up the DH tonight, Elliott Foreman. Foreman's walked in both of his at-bats, scored a run in the last inning. Going to bat here in the top of the fourth inning. The Eagles trail the Yellow Jackets 7-5. Do have the leadoff man on. The Swank comes set. First pitch misses low, ball 1. The 1-0. Foreman takes at the belt for a strike. Evens the count 1-1. As Foreman adjusts the back of his helmet, steps back in. Swank checks Luttrell at first. That ball's going to be grounded. Second base, Illingworth fields it, throws to second baseman Presley for the force. Good play there by Illingworth. Made a sliding stop. Fired the ball to second base on his knees to force Luttrell out. Throw's not in time to complete the double play, so Foreman's going to reach on the fielder's choice. 6-4. That's going to bring up Zach Malone. Malone singled, stole a base, and scored a run in his last at bat. First pitch from Swank catches the outside corner. 0-1. One out, top of the fourth. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 7-5. As Swank misses high, ball 1. That'll even the count at 1-1. Foreman takes his lead away from first. Ball's going to be flared back over the first base side. Take the count to 1-2. 1-2, 1 out, top 4. Malone steps in. Foreman's on first. Swank on the mound for the Yellow Jackets. Kicks and fires. It's going to be a ground ball right back to Swank. Going to fire high to Illingsworth. Not going to get the out. And Malone beats it out at first base. It's going to be an E1. It's going to have 2 runners on here as the shortstop Ethan Atkinson struts to the plate. Ball was softly hit to Swank, but when he spun in throw as Eilingworth covered the second base bag, throw was high and out. Pulled Eilingworth completely off the bag. Young man had sense enough to throw it to first, but was not able to get Malone as that ball's going to get away from Grubbs. Foreman got a late start. He's going to get tagged out trying to steal third base there. Be the second out of the inning. Ball was in the dirt, did just squirt past Grubbs there, the catcher, but Foreman got a late break, probably didn't realize that it did not go but about 5 or 6 feet behind Grubbs. So Grubbs was able to fire it down to third for the second out of the inning. Malone did advance to second on the play. Counts 1-0 on Atkinson. That ball's in the dirt. It's going to go to the backstop. That's going to get Malone all the way to third base as the throw's high from Grubbs. The ball does come off the backstop even when it makes it all the way there. It comes off pretty quickly. And if the catcher's able to recover in time, there is a chance that he might have a play. But so the Eagles have their sixth potential run 90 feet away here as Atkinson bats 2-0. Swung through that Swank fastball. 2-1. Two outs. That ball's going to miss outside. 3-1. Atkinson had a RBI sacrifice fly his last at bat. The 3-1 from Swank. It's going to be fouled back. He's going to fill her up here. 3-2. 3-2, 2 outs. Top four. Eagles threatening with Malone on third base. Atkinson at the plate. It's going to miss outside. It's going to send Atkinson down to first base with a walk. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 5, Jacob Newland. Newland's 1 for 2 on the night. Had an RBI single his last at bat. Going to come up here with runners on the corners. And 2 outs. As Newland adjusts his batting gloves, spits into his hands, rubs them together, and on his pants, and slaps them together. He's going to step in here with 2 out, top 4. Eagles with runners on the corners. Trail the Yellow Jackets 7-5. Swank steps off, checks Atkinson at first. Comes set. First pitch, off speed, misses off the outside corner, 1-0. Newland steps in. Swank with the pitch. Fouled back, 1-1. One, 2 outs, top 4. Jacob Newland at bat. Swank comes set. The pitch going to be flared back along the first base side. 1-2. Malone takes his lead away from third. Atkinson away from first. The 1-2. In the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. Newland takes a deep breath. Strides back into the box. The 2-2. Misses low. Ball 3. It's going to fill her up. 3-2. 3-2, 2 outs. Top 4. Atkinson should be away with the pitch from first base. Atkinson takes off. Newland fouls it back. Stays alive. Looked like the pitch might have been a little bit outside, but definitely too close to let the umpire make the decision. Good job, able to stay alive there. We'll do it again, 3-2, 2 outs. Top 4, Yellow Jackets lead the Eagles 7-5. New Diana threatening with runners on the corners. Malone at third, Atkinson away from first. We'll be off with the pitch. That ball's going to be grounded through the hole between first and second. That's going to plate Malone. Atkinson goes all the way to third base. That's going to allow Newland to advance to second. As the Eagles are going to claw within one as Jacob Newland plates Malone with a 2-out RBI single. Excellent job by the young man there. As that brings up left fielder Hayden Thomas. Cuts at the first pitch and fouls it back. Thomas is 2 for 2 tonight. Singled in the second inning and in the third. Had an RBI single in the third inning. As Swank comes set. Hayden Thomas swings through that curveball there from Swank. 0-2. As that pitch catches the outside corner, it's going to be strike 3. It's going to end the inning for in the top of the fourth for the New Diana Eagles, but not before they scratch across 1 run on 1 hit. 1 error going to the bottom of the fourth. Your score, Elysian Field 7, New Diana 6. We have moved to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Brook Hill High School, Bullard, Texas, Game 3. Elysian Fields jumped out in front of New Diana after 2 innings, 6-0. Since then, the Eagles have scratched and clawed and hit their way back into this ball game. Currently trail 7-6. As Jace Greenslate bats for Elysian Fields, fouls the first offering from Maines back behind the screen. 0-1. The 0-1. Good curveball there from Maine. Swung way over the top by Greenslate. Not a chance to make contact with that baseball. Steps in here, 0-2. Maines kicks and fires. Curveball's going to be fouled back as Greenslate's bat slips out of his hand and goes to the backstop. We'll reset and do it again, 0-2. The 0-2. In the dirt. Ball 1. One result from earlier this afternoon, Atlanta defeated Harmony in Game 3 of their regional quarterfinal, 3-1. It's going to send the Atlanta Rabbits to the Sweet 16 regional semifinals. Mains delivers the 1-2 high, 2-2. Two as Green Slate leads off the bottom of the fourth for the Yellow Jackets. Mains curveball is going to miss high there. Filler up, 3-2.
Let's go, go right at him right here. Let's go.
With the conditions a little bit wet here, it makes that difficult to snap and keep the rotation tight on that curveball. That's going to be ball 4. So the Yellow Jackets are going to have the leadoff man on here as the pitcher, Landon Swank, comes to the plate. Swank's 1 for 1, is walked. Had an RBI single his last at bat. Bats here in the bottom of the fourth inning. New Diana trails Elysian Field 7-6. Green Slate on first base after a leadoff walk. As Mains comes set. First pitch is in the dirt. Good block there from Newland. It's going to keep Green Slate at first base, 1-0. Going to have a quick mound visit here from Coach Martinez. We'll take a quick break. Hear a word from our sponsors. Are you struggling with debt, car payments, student loans, credit cards? You're not alone. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. There is a way out. My name is Jeff Newland, and I have started a financial coaching practice to help people overcome their debt and eliminate the financial stress on your life. To schedule your free 15-minute consultation, you can call or text 903-309-0549. You can also email newlandfinancialcoaching@gmail.com. That's NEWLAND financialcoaching@gmail.com, or look me up on Facebook at Newland Financial Coaching. If you're tired of money creating problems in your life, start your journey to financial freedom today. Newland Financial Coaching is a proud sponsor of New Diana Eagle Baseball.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We're in the bottom of the fourth inning here at Brook Hill High School, Game 3 between the New Diana Eagles and the Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets lead the Eagles 7-6. Inning was started off with Darren Maines on the mound. Walked the leadoff hitter Green Slate, threw one ball to Landon Swank, and got a pitching change. He's going to bring in the center fielder, number 19, John Luttrell. Be Luttrell's first appearance in the postseason. Have to see what the rest of the defensive alignments are going to be here.
Your attention, please. Now pitching.
Atkinson's going to remain at shortstop. Simmons is going to remain at second. Maines is going to move out to center field to take Luttrell's spot. Luttrell will come in here. Nobody out, bottom of the fourth, and Harrods Green Slate at first base. Counts 1-0 on Swank. This is really the point that you've got to absolutely dig deep as a ball player.
You got this, boy. Let's go, John.
Game threes are typically close, especially when the two teams are very evenly matched like these two are. First pitch is going to be in the dirt, picked by Newland there. 2-0. Luttrell squares. Newland tries to pick that one. It's going to be low. It's going to go all the way to the backstop.
It's all right, John.
Be 3-0 count on Swank.
Let's go, John.
As Green Slate moves down to second base with the pass ball. 3-0, nobody out. Green Slate takes his lead away from second.
What a pitch. Yes, sir, John.
There's Swank.
What a pitch. Good stuff.
Squares and takes the strike right down the middle. 3-1.
Yes, sir,
That pitch is
John.
at the knees. It's going to be 3-2.
Yes, sir, John.
As Swank has already tossed his bat back to the third base dugout. Thought it was a walk.
John.
It's going to fill it up here. As Luttrell started swing 3-0. Now it's 3-2. Luttrell comes set, checks Green Slate at second. Fires low. It's going to squirt away from Newland, who's going to fire down to third base.
Let's go.
Not able to get Green Slate. Going to be the second pass ball there for Newland. As soon as the ball hit the dirt, Green Slate took off and squirted just far enough away from Newland that he wasn't able to recover. Actually, probably a wild pitch. In any event, Yellow Jackets have runners at the corners with nobody out. Bottom of the fourth inning. Lead the New Diana Eagles 7-6.
Let's go.
That brings right fielder J.D. Ballard up.
Nice, Ethan.
Ball's outside. That's going to be. It's going to be Jacob Newland with a good block there.
Jacob's up first. Oh,
1-0 count. One and 0 is going to be popped up. Malone's going to move over into foul territory. Keeps moving. Sets up underneath it and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Get that.
Alertly.
Let's go.
Second baseman. So I'll replay you what happened there. Bad call by me. Malone caught the ball in foul territory and alertly landed Swank. Tagged up, headed to second. Malone threw the ball to second. When he did that, Green Slate broke for home. Simmons grabbed the ball from second base, recovered, threw the ball to Newland, and tagged out Green Slate, trying to score for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Ballard. Excuse me, that's Merritt. Ballard was the one that just popped out. Apologize, folks. It's hard to keep up with some of this sometimes. Merritt takes outside for ball one.
Let's go, John.
Bottom of the fourth inning, your score 7-6. Elysian Fields leads New Diana. Merritt's at the plate. Luttrell 2-0 count. This would be huge if the Eagles are able to get out of this. Luttrell kicks, fires. Misses low, ball three.
What a pitch.
You got this, John.
3-0, 2 outs, bottom four. Swank takes his lead away from second. Luttrell fires in there for a strike, 3-1.
Go, John.
Come get him, John.
I like my boy.
3-1, 2 out, bottom four. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 7-6.
Okay, I'm about to go break this.
Luttrell with the pitch. Going to be hit. Back up the middle. Ethan Atkinson covers it. Fields it on the run. Fires over to Austin Kearns as Merritt slowly jogged all the way down to first base.
Let's go, Ethan.
Play could have been really close there, but in any event, Eagles are able to get out of it. Moving to the top of the fifth, your score. Elysian Field 7, New Diana 6. We're in the top of the fifth inning here at Brookville High School. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 7-6. Yellow Jackets had a short rally in the bottom half of the last inning. Had two runners on, runners at the corners with nobody out. When J.D. Ballard hit a pop fly out of play, down the third baseline in foul territory. Malone recovered for the first out of the inning. Swank was on first base, tagged and tried to advance to second. Malone's throw was late, but when he threw it to second, Greenslade tried to advance from third, and Simmons gunned Greenslade out at the plate to keep the Yellow Jackets off the scoreboard in the bottom half of the frame. Second baseman Logan Simmons leads off the inning here for the Eagles. Unable to check his swing, 0-1. As Swank misses low to even it up, 1-1. The 1-1. High for ball two, 2-1. A lot of tension in the ball game. A lot of interactions between both teams. It's going to be very important the Eagles maintain their composure. As that fastball misses high. It's going to be a 3-1 count on Simmons, leading off the top of the fifth here for the Eagles. Steps in here. Swank comes set. Fires low, swung on and missed. It's going to fill it up, 3-2. Simmons is 1 for 2. Had an RBI single back in the third inning. The 3-2. Going to be grounded down the third baseline. Greenslade recovers, fires over high to Merritt. Pulls Merritt up off the bag. Simmons is going to beat it out. It's going to go down as E5. Throw was high and as Merritt leaped up off the bag, Simmons crossed and touched before Merritt was able to come back down. As Merritt's throwing his hands up into the air and is unsure why he was called safe. As we're going to have a visit from the Elysian Fields head coach here. He's going to run over to talk to the first base umpire. As they stand just there by first base. Merritt, coincidentally, grounded out to Atkinson to end the bottom half of the last inning and almost walked, had a slow jog all the way to first base from the time he hit the ball, as if he just expected Atkinson to make the play. So that's typical freshman stuff, though. We see that kind of stuff as well sometimes. As it looks like the Elysian Fields coach is going to make this an official mound visit here as he's now talking to Swank. Looks like we are going to have a pitching change. So we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with you in just a minute.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We're in the top of the fifth inning here at Brook Hill High School, Game 3 of the regional quarter-final series. Elysian Fields leads Indiana 7-6. Eagles do have the leadoff man on here in the form of Logan Simmons after he hit a ground ball right down the third base line. Ball was hit right down the third base line. Third baseman Greenslade fielded it, threw high over to first base, to first baseman Merritt. And the Yellow Jackets made a pitching change. They brought in number 11, Campbell White. White's pitched just two-thirds of an inning this postseason. Closed out a game against Mount Vernon. And that's going to bring up number 8, Austin Kearns. As Simmons takes his lead away from first, Kearns is squared. Takes high. It's going to glance off of Grubbs' glove, go all the way to the backstop. It'll be a pass ball on Grubbs. And a 1-0 count on Kearns. As Simmons represents the tying run for New Diana here in the top of the fifth. Swipe comes set, fires a 1-0 high. 2-0. 2-0, nobody out. Logan Simmons on second base after reaching on an error and advancing to second on a pass ball. The 2-0 is going to be in there. Strike one, 2-1. As Kearns takes a deep breath, steps back in. Campbell comes set. Fires high, 3-1. White is consistently missed with his fastball here high. Toes the rubber, looks in at Grubbs for the sign. Comes set. 3-1 right down the middle. He's going to fill her up, 3-2. Kearns holds his hand up for the umpire. Umpire says time. Now play ball. As Kearns takes high, it's going to be a second walk of the ball game. As he jogs down to first base, it's going to take us back to the top of the order. Darren Maines steps to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day, scored a run back in the Eagles' big 5-run third inning. Steps in here with runners on first and second. Nobody out, top of the 5th inning. Maines steps up into the front of the box. White comes set. Maines squares. Bunts right through it, be 0-1. As the ball momentarily popped out of Grubbs' glove there, but the 0-1. Maines squares again. This time he's going to bunt it foul back to the third base dugout. Going to be 0-2.
Let's go, battle back right here. Let's go.
Maines steps back in. 0-2's your count. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Top of the 5th. New Diana trails Elysian Field 7-6 in this game 3. White delivers. Curveball is going to be hit down the line, out of play. Down the third baseline. Maines didn't sit back quite long enough and got the barrel on it, but well foul. Maines steps back in. 0-2, still your count. Swings through that Campbell White fastball. The umpire's called time. Got a first base umpire coming over to talk to Coach Sean Stacy. Not exactly sure what's going on here. Looks like the first base umpire had called time, so maybe that swing and a miss is not going to count. Maybe it was a no pitch. Let's wait here for just a second as the Elysian Fields head coach comes out of the dugout, understandably confused on what's going on. He's going to walk over and talk to the first base umpire, get an explanation here. As the first base umpire is explaining whatever it was that happened with the Elysian Fields head coach, we can tell you from our perspective, Maines swung through a White fastball, appeared to be a strikeout in the first out of the inning, but the home plate umpire threw his hands up almost immediately, and as we glanced over at the first base umpire, he was walking over and said something to Coach Sean Stacy, so we believe that it was a no pitch because the first base umpire called time. So we'll do it again. 0-2, nobody out. Maines at the plate, Eagles on first and second, top 5. New Diana trails 7-6. That's going to be a ground ball hit hard down to Greenslate. Greenslate's going to tag first, fire third, fire over to first for the double play. Good play there by Greenslate. It was hit right at him. He was only about 4 feet off the bag. Was able to shuffle over, tag the bag, fire to first to double off Maines and complete the double play. 5-3. So with 2 outs, Austin Kern stands on second base, and the pitcher, John Luttrell, steps in. Luttrell's 1 for 2, does have a double, scored a run, and just walked. First pitch is going to be hit right back up the middle at White. It's going to fire over to first. That's going to get the Yellow Jackets out of it. Going to the bottom of the 5th, your score, Elysian Fields 7, New Diana 6.
Scholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away. but they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
We're in the bottom of the 5th inning here in Game 3. New Diana trails Elysian Field 7-6. Defensive alignment for the bottom half of this inning is going to remain the same for the Eagles. Eagles threatened in the bottom half of the inning. Had runners on first and second with nobody out, but Darren Maines grounded into a 5-3 double play in which Green Slate forced Simmons out, advancing to third and fired over to first for the second out. Yellow Jackets going to be led off by their number 9 hitter, Kip Lewis, as Luttrell misses low, ball 1. Lewis is 0 for 1, struck out looking his first at bat, walked and scored a run his last. Slow roller to Malone at third, charge, fired over to Kearns for the first out of the inning. Good play there by Malone. He was back about even with the bag. Lewis hit just a little chopper to him. 2-hop chopper. Malone was able to field it, fire over to first to retire Lewis for the first out of the inning. He's going to take the Yellow Jackets back to the top of their lineup with second baseman Logan Presley. Presley is 1 for 2 as he takes a ball from Luttrell, 1-0. 1 for 2, had a sacrifice bunt his last at bat. Doubled to lead off the bottom of the first inning and scored a run, and also grounded out to Malone at third as he takes ball 2 low, 2-0. Malone's just about back on the grass at third. Simmons and Atkinson, second and short respectively, are back on the grass. Kearns is even with the bag at third. That ball's going to be hit down the line, down the right field line. Foul. Two and 1 you count. 1 out. Presley at bat. Luttrell on the mound for the Eagles. Is the 4th hurler that the Eagles have used tonight. Elysian Fields is on their 3rd. As Luttrell kicks, fires. The 2-1's low, be 3-1. The 3-1. At the knees on the inside corner, strike 2. Yet again, Presley's in dismay. That's going to fill it up, 3-2. The 3-2 is going to be hit out to center field. It's going to be down, drops just in front of Maines. As Maines is going to fire back to first, and Presley's able to get back in time. It's going to be a 1-out single for Presley. It was a good pitch there by Luttrell. It was probably a ball right below the knee, and Presley went down and got the ball and lifted it out to center field. That's going to bring up the catcher, Noah Grubbs. Grubbs is 1 for 3 on the day as he takes off the inside corner. Ball 1. Grubbs had an RBI triple in the bottom of the first inning. Has since struck out and grounded out to third base. Bats here with 1 out as Luttrell fires over to first base to keep Presley honest. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0's your count. As Luttrell comes set, fires quickly. It's going to be a ground ball to Maines. Malone at second. It's going to fire low. Simmons not able to pick it and come up with it. So Grubbs is going to reach on the air. So with 1 out, the Yellow Jackets have 2 men on with Ryan Wilkerson coming to the plate. It was a ground ball hit right at Malone, through low. Right at the ground, just skidded right under Simmons' glove out into right field. And Presley was safe. Luttrell's first pitch to Wilkerson's low, ball 1. Wilkerson's 2 for 2 on the night, has a walk and a couple of runs scored. Luttrell kicks, fires. It's going to be a hard ground ball single out into left field. They're going to hold Presley at third, so that's going to load them up with 1 out here. Ball was hit very sharply out there to left field, and Hayden Thomas was able to charge in time to hold Presley at third. So that's going to bring up the senior, number 2, Jackson Eilingworth. That's Wilkerson's third hit of the night. Eilingworth comes up, has walked and struck out looking, scored a couple of runs. Bats here with the bases loaded as he takes a high fastball from Luttrell. Luttrell asks for a new piece of leather. Good snag there by Newland to keep the ball from going to the backstop. 1-0. 1-0, 1 out, bottom 5. Elysian Fields has the bases loaded. Newland relays the signs. Luttrell comes set. Kicks, fires right down the middle, strike 1. That's going to even it up, 1-1. As Eilingworth steps back in, Luttrell peers in, comes set. The 1-1 misses high. Eilingworth thought about offering at it, was able to check his swing. 2-1. 2-1, 1 out, bottom 5. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 7-6. Bases are loaded. Eilingworth swings through that Luttrell fastball. 2-2's your count. As Eilingworth digs back in. Toes are on the inside. Chalk. Luttrell's got his sign. Comes set. Kicks. Fires low. Good block there by Newland. Able to keep the ball in front. Presley at third base. Newland's going to call time. Ask for a new ball. So we've got a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom 5. Presley's on third. Grubbs is on second. Wilkerson's on first. As Luttrell comes set. Ball's going to be low. It's going to walk in a run here. Elysian Fields is going to extend their lead 8-6. As Eilingworth walks for the third time in the ballgame. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Jace Greenslate. Eagles still just a ground ball away from getting out of this. First pitch to Greenslate misses off the outside corner, ball 1. Greenslate has walked in all 3 plate appearances tonight. Luttrell comes set. Fires low, 2-0. Luttrell steps back up onto the top of the rubber after refocusing. Fires. Fouled back. 2-1. 2-1, 1 out. Bases loaded. Luttrell's walked in 1 run thus far. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 8-6. Here in Game 3 of the regional quarterfinals. Winner will advance to the Sweet 16 and face Gunter in the regional semifinals. Luttrell set to deliver the 2-1. It's going to be popped up just out of play. It's going to bounce right back here in the crowd by about 10 feet. That's going to even it up, 2-2. Newland gets a new piece of leather from the home plate umpire, rubs it up, fires the ball out to Luttrell. 2-2, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Greenslate at the plate. Bases are loaded. Luttrell comes set, kicks, fires. Looked at for strike 3. It's going to be the second out of the inning as Green Slate retreats to the dugout. So with 2 outs and the bases loaded, that's going to bring up the first baseman, Landon Swank. Swank is 2 for 3. Good block there by Newland. Ball 1.
Come get him, John. Best pitch, bud.
One oh's your count, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Swank at the plate. Luttrell comes set. Kicks and fires. Right down the middle for strike 1. 1-1. The 1-1. It's going to be fouled down the third base line. Take the count to 1-2. Well, just Swank is 1 for 1 with an RBI single and a couple of walks. He walked this last at bat. Bats here, 1-2's your count, 2 outs. Bottom 5, Elysian Fields leads New Diana 8-6. Luttrell kicks and fires. Curveball swung on and missed. It's going to get the Eagles out of it, moving to the top of the 6th inning. Your score, Elysian Fields 8, New Diana 6. We've moved to the top of the 6th inning here. in Game 3 at Brook Hill High School, Bullard, Texas. New Diana trails Elysian Fields 8-6. Eagles are going to be led off by their DH, number 2, Elliott Foreman. Foreman's walked a couple of times, scored a run. Reached on a fielder's choice at last at bat.
Leading off for the Eagles, number 2.
Campbell White is on the mound for the Yellow Jackets.
Let's go, Foreman. Get it started right here.
Eagles threatened in the top half of the last inning, but not able to score a run. Yellow Jackets did push across one in the bottom of the 5th to extend that lead to 8-6. Foreman takes just above the knee for strike 1. 0-1. White kicks and fires. Misses off the outside corner. It's going to even it up 1-1. As White toes back up onto the top of the rubber. From the wind. Foreman fouls it straight back, 1-2. Foreman is a huge reason that we have a Game 3 tonight after a 7-inning complete game shutout of Elysian Fields last night. 1-hit shutout. That White pitch is going to sail high. It'll even it up at 2-2. White kicks and fires. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, third baseman, Zach Malone.
Number 18, Zach Malone.
Got one out, top 6. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 8-6 in this rubber match of the regional quarterfinals. Malone lifts his bat to the heavens, stares up, takes a deep breath, and steps in the box. First pitch from White's going to miss high, ball 1. One and oh's your count. Curveball there from White's going to be fouled back, 1-1. One out. Malone steps back into the box. White kicks and fires. Another off-speed pitch is going to be fouled back there by Malone. Make the count 1-2. As Malone adjusts his batting gloves, takes a really deep breath and steps in. The pitch. Another off-speed pitch is going to be hit out into deep right field. Over the head of Kip Lewis, the center fielder. He's going to fire it into over the shortstop's head. Malone's going to be on with a 2-out double. Ball was actually hit toward the right side of center field. Looked like Lewis may have misplayed it just a little bit there, but the ball went much further than he thought it was. Out there close to the 370-foot wall. So with one out, that's going to bring up the shortstop, Ethan Atkinson. Atkinson's been on base twice tonight with a single, reached on an error and scored 2 runs. Hits the first pitch on a line out to Wickerson in left field. Hangs up just long enough that he's able to make a running catch. Ball was hit on the screws, but hit right at Wilkerson. That's going to bring up the catcher, number 5, Jacob Newland. Newland's had a good ball game tonight, currently 2 for 3. A couple of RBIs and a run scored. He's going to step in here with 2 outs, top 6. Malone's on second base after a 1-out double. As he goes through his pre-at-bat routine. New Diana trails Elysian Fields 8-6. White comes set, checks Malone at second. Big bender in there for strike 1. 0-1. Newland with a practice swing, steps back in. White toes the rubber, Pearson for the sign from Grubbs. Kicks, fires, spikes it in the dirt. Good stop there by Grubbs to keep Malone at second base. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Big spot here for the sophomore. Steps in, 1-1. 2 outs. That ball's going to be hammered. Snagged by shortstop Eilingworth for the third out of the inning and retire the Eagles. Excellent play there by Eilingworth. Had to dive glove side and snag the ball as Newland hit it on a rope. Going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score, Elysian Fields 8, New Diana 6. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here at Brook Hill High School. Elysian Fields leads New Diana 8-6. Eagles threatened in the top half of the 6th inning with a 1-out double by Zach Malone. As J.D. Ballard is going to lead off the inning for the Yellow Jackets. Ball 1. Newland came up and smashed a ball just to the glove side, about 10 feet to the glove side of Eilingworth, and was able to make a grab to retire the Eagles. Seems as though we have a problem with the music here at Brook Hill. That ball's going to be flipped out to second base. Logan Simmons charges, fires over to first for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Campbell White, who's going to hit for Blake Merritt.
Number 11, Campbell White.
White entered the ball game on the mound 2 innings ago and has been able to shut the Eagles down. That's going to be a ground ball. Third baseman Zach Malone fields it, fires over to first. Kearns picks it. Second out of the inning. 3 pitches, 2 outs. It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, center fielder Kip Lewis. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, the Eagles are going to have up their 7, 8, 9 hitters, Thomas, Simmons, Kearns. As the Eagles will need at least 2 runs to stay alive in the top half of the inning.
Your attention, please, now to play for the Yellow Jackets. Number 5, David Hudson.
David Hudson is going to bat for Kip Lewis. As he lifts the first pitch out to center field, number 7, Darren Maines, comes in, gets sets up underneath it. That's going to retire the Yellow Jackets in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3. Going to the top of the 7th. Eagles need 2 runs.
2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2.
We've moved to the top of the 7th inning here at Brook Hill as it's begun to sprinkle here in Bullard. Nothing uncommon from the last 5 or 6 days. Definitely the last 3 games of this series. Eagles are going to have their left fielder, number 9, Hayden Thomas, leading off the top of the 7th. Eagles need 2 runs to tie the ball game and stay alive. Number 11, Campbell White, still on the mound for the Yellow Jackets. All other defensive positions remain the same. Thomas is going to come in 2 for 3. Has a couple of singles and an RBI tonight. First pitch from Campbell. Catches the inside corner, strike 1. The 0-1. Hit third baseman Greenslate makes a diving stop, picks himself up, fires over. Umpire calls him safe as Thomas slides into first base. Thomas slid just in there ahead of the throw. He's going to be on here with a leadoff single. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Logan Simmons. These are the 3 hardest outs in baseball, the last 3 outs of the game to close the team out, especially in a series. Greenslate did make a great play just to get a glove on it. And he picked himself up, recovered, and fired over, just not quite in time. Simmons steps in here as Thomas is going to take his lead away from first. Simmons is going to sky it out into foul territory. Greenslate and Wilkerson both giving chase. It's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. Thomas is 3 for 4 on the night. Excellent job by Thomas there to beat that out and give the Eagles life here as the leadoff hitter in the top of the 7th. As Simmons steps back in here, down to the count, 0-1. White peers in, has the sign, deep breath, delivers. It's going to be a bunt down the first baseline. It's going to roll foul. Going to make the count 0-2. Miss White asked for a new baseball from the home plate umpire, and he obliges. Simmons pounds the barrel of the bat on the bottom of his cleats, steps in, rolls his front left shoulder. White comes set. Off-speed pitch is going to fly high there. Be 1-2. 1-2, nobody out. Hayden Thomas on first base after a leadoff infield single. New Diana trails Elysian Fields 8-6, top 7. That fastball is going to be swung on and missed. It's going to sit Simmons down for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter for New Diana, Austin Kearns. Kearns has reached base twice tonight, courtesy of a couple of walks.
Number 8, Austin Kearns.
Going to step up here with 1 out, top 7. New Diana down 8-6. Hayden Thomas on first base. White comes set. Fires. Fastball swung on a miss. Strike 1. Kearns steps back in. White's ready for the 0-1. Big bender crosses just above the letters for ball 1. That'll even the count up at 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. Kearns takes a deep breath, steps in with his right foot, then his left. Ready for the pitch. At the knees, taken for strike 2. Make the count 1-2. As White adjusts his hat. Rubs the sweat off his face with his wristband. Peers in for the sign from Grubbs. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Slow bender there. Crosses about the neck that time. It's going to be 2-2. 2-2, 1 out, top of the 7th. New Diana trails Elysian Fields 8-6. Eagles have a runner on first in the form of Hayden Thomas. As Kearns takes outside, that's going to fill her up here, 3-2. Good at bat by Kearns. 3-2, 1 out. It's White. Looks in for the sign, comes set. The 3-2. It's going to be fouled. We'll do it again. Good piece of hitting there by Kearns just to get a piece of that. It was probably a little bit low, but that's been consistently called a strike tonight. Did a great job to stay alive. The 3-2. Misses off the outside corner. That's going to be the third walk of the game for Kearns as he trots down to first base. That's going to give the Eagles 2 runners on here. With 1 out, we're going to have a visit from the Elysian Fields coach. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here, and it looks like they're going to bring Wilkerson in. We'll be back with you in just a minute. We're in the top of the 7th inning here at Brook Hill High School. Have had a pitching change for the Yellow Jackets. Going to bring in number 1, Ryan Wilkerson. Wilkerson was the winner in Game 1 through 85 pitches. Comes in here with 1 out. It's going to face the top of the Eagle lineup here. Center fielder Darren Maines. Eagles have runners on first and second. Thomas led off the inning with a single, infield single. Kearns walked after Simmons went down on strikes. With 1 out, Maine steps in. Wilkerson comes set. Checks Thomas at second. Kicks and fires. It's going to go behind Maines there as Grubbs is going to fire down to second base. Thomas is back safely. 1-0. Wilkerson comes set. the 1-0. Low, 2-0.
Now let's go.
One out, top 7. New Diana trails Elysian Fields 8-6. Eagles have runners on first and second. Darren Maines at the plate. Wilkerson comes set. The 2-0. Fouled straight back. Maines just missed that fastball from Wilkerson. Fouled it straight back to the screen. As Grubbs flips the ball back out to Wilkerson. The Yellow Jacket hurler toes the rubber. Maine steps in, pounds the outside corner with the barrel of his bat. A couple of practice swings. And the pitch. Fastball swung on. Fouled straight back, 2-2.
All right, let's go.
You got this, Darren.
2-2, 1 out. Eagles have the tying run on first base. The 2-2 from Wilkerson. It's going to be flied out to left field. Left fielder comes in charging. He's going to make the catch for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up number 19, John Luttrell. If the Eagles want one man up in this spot, it's John Luttrell. Young man has had a phenomenal series against Mineola and Elysian Fields both. Wilkerson's first pitch is a curveball off the outside corner. Luttrell's able to lay off. 1-0. Luttrell bats here in the top of the top of the seventh inning. 2 outs, runners on first and second. That fastball is going to be hit a long ways but out of play. It's going to even it up, 1-1. Wilkerson steps back up on top, shakes Grubbs' first sign, okays the second. Couple of checks at Thomas. It's going to be a ball hit right back at Wilkerson. Hits Wilkerson, he falls down, but is able to recover and throw to Swank at first base to retire Luttrell. That's going to be the end of your ball game. Elysian Fields is going to defeat New Diana in Game 3, 8-6. Elysian Fields had 8 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. New Diana had 6 runs on 10 hits with 3 errors. Elysian Fields Yellow Jackets are going to move on to the regional semifinal series and face Gunter in tonight's after tonight's ball game. We'd like to take just a second to thank our sponsors, Elite Refrigeration and Air and Newland Financial Coaching, for their support of New Diana Eagle Baseball. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast partner of the New Diana Eagle Baseball family, please email us at newdianabaseballlive@gmail.com. Your contribution will help keep these broadcasts 100% free to our listeners. I'd like to take just a minute to say to our returning juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, we cannot wait until we see you back next season. We would also like to extend a fond farewell to our 4 seniors. Excuse me. These boys played their hearts out. Number 18, Zach Malone. Number 12, Landon Chapman. Number 11, Chris Rico Reed. Number 7, Darren Maines. Good luck to each of you at the next level and whatever the future may hold for you. It's been an absolute pleasure to start this broadcast of New Diana Eagle Baseball, and we hope to continue it for many years to come. The memories you create on this field deserve to be documented. This has been Jeff Newland. Thank you for listening to this final broadcast of the New Diana Eagle Baseball season for the year 2021. Good night.